Hey guys, welcome back to Horseshoe Mountain Ranch. I'm Robert. Today we're going to show you how we spray here on the small farm and how things have changed since COVID. Well, today we're going to start off shooting a little Roundup in some of these areas we just can't mow. And like around all the attachments for the tractor, I've got a big ditch over here. Actually, I'm planning on planting some squash there for the chickens here probably next week, so I need to do a kill on it now. But a little four-wheeler like this works pretty good. You've got we've got a 15-gallon tank on it that we got at the local ranch supply. They were running a sale on them a few years back. They were only 50 bucks. And I'm going to start off showing you this, and then I'm going to show, after I get done with the Roundup, I made a homemade boom sprayer for it. Then I'm going to run some 2,4-D out in some of the weedy areas of the pasture. But beside me over here, you can see I've got a 110-gallon sprayer that I use behind the tractor. And I used to spray the fields with it all the time. And before COVID, I could fill that thing up with 2,4-D for 30 bucks at the most. Now you're talking 100 and something. So needless to say, my spraying has gone down severely. And now I just spot spray. And I kept expecting that the prices would go back down once the COVID stuff got over with, but it hadn't done it yet. So I think something's fishy about that, don't you? So I'm going to start off here and do a little spray, and I'm going to move y'all down where you can see me in action. Okay guys, now we're going to switch over and spray some 2,4-D. And what I've done on this little tank, I made me my own little spray bar out of pipe with the nozzles on there. I've got 4 of them on there. And my first attempt at this, I used PVC and I had it stick out 1.5 feet on each side, trying to get a wider spray path out of this little thing. But see, all you got to do is take your hose off your wand and connect it onto the end of your pipe here with a hose barb and a shutoff valve. Luckily on a Honda, they've already got an auxiliary power port here that all you got to do is get your end for it and plug it in, and I can turn it on and off as I'm driving with this valve here. And typically you see these things set up to where the nozzle is pointing down at the ground. And if I did this from this elevation, you know, I wouldn't get a 4-foot wide path maybe. So I tilted it, and that makes that fan pattern go out like this and get a lot wider. So I'm shooting like 8 foot wide with this little 4-foot wide boom. So I'm going to just do a little bit here and let you watch that. Let's see where I can put y'all where you can see where I'm going. See them tall, I don't even know if you can see them tall weeds out there with the white flowers on them. A yarrow or something, but they need to be gone. So here goes nothing. Okay, hopefully that was enough to let you get the idea of what's going on. Now 2,4-D, what I just sprayed here, is a selective weed killer. It only kills the class of weeds called broadleaves. And so it's going to leave your good pasture grasses. The only thing you got to be careful of, if depending on your application rates, you can burn clover and alfalfa and things like that you'd really rather not hurt. Some of your commercial things like Grazon, Grazon XL, those herbicides will do the same thing. So you got to be careful with some of that. It just depends on what you've got in your fields. But this works pretty good for us. like I said, you know, since COVID, we've had to really cut back on our spraying. It just got too expensive, and so I'm just doing selective amounts in the worst patches, and hopefully that's enough. And if I ever get my part back from the machine shop where I can start mowing regular, I'm going to mow down these buttercups. And the 2,4-D will kill them, and I've done that in the past, but it's like the next year they're back just as strong. So it's like, what's the point? So, but I think if I mow them regularly enough, maybe that'll help. Because you got to remember, the plant is basically two parts. The roots below ground and the part above. They both have a part to play in this, and it's got to have both to be able to live. So if you can get rid of one, the other's got to die. So if I keep them tops cut back, you know, hopefully that's going to at least make it weak and sick, I guess. So eventually that ought to do the job. It's not going to be fast, but you know, maybe over the course of a couple years it'll put a dent in these stupid things. But I'm going to let you go for now, and I'm going to take off and spray the rest of this tank over here on this side of the property. Maybe take a cruise on the other side and see if there's anything bad enough over there to need it on that. So just wanted to show you how we spray here on a small farm when budget's a consideration. So you can either copy what I do, or, you know, come up with something better and let me know. But, well, come back next time and I'll leave the gate open for you.